Oh, yes, great seat, I might say. What's a king without a crown? Take away his throne and gown. He could be the rabble or the Russian Tsar. Judge each creature of our race by each feature in his face. Look at him, I rest my case. Well, there you are. And it matters not to me what part of town you come from. We but cheer, you've made it here at all. Here within this garish parish called the music hall. And there you are. How very glad we are that there you are. It isn't who you are, but where you are. And there you are. And grateful we are to see how fine and fair you are. There you are. Angela, my dear, are you out there?
Oh, coming down from the ensemble bit, I'm so sorry.
Ah, and who is that you're sitting with?
A gent who seems singularly bent on attaching both his hands to both my knees.
Alice!
I'm considering the lap of a most engaging chap, and I'll let him do exactly as I please.
Live!
I've a lady down in front who's handing me her latchkey. Surely she must know that spells her D.
Victor!
These lovely people will bother me more or less.
Deidre!
They're designed to show me in my dressing room.
Skin day and debonair you are.
Just like the Western Lights are square you are. Yes, there you are. That people we all should be full well aware we are. So lightning quick, let's all kick up for fuss. We cannot pray or trust is blind in us. So drink your fill and just unwind in us. A warming wicked frame of mind in us. You'll find in us. We want you and us, our loves. We care for where you've been. And on the job we care how you got in. We must care, that's care, that's care that you are. And there you are.
We're gonna do that again. You ruined it. One more time. That was good. All right, thank you so much. Good evening and welcome. A very warm welcome to you all on this most thrilling of evenings here at the Music Hall Royale. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we have the privilege of presenting for your approval the premiere performance of The Mystery of Edwin Drood. This being a musicale with dramatic interlude. Now, as you are no doubt aware, our very own Mr. Charles Dickens was full halfway through the creation of the greatest mystery of our time when he did the one ungenerous deed of his career. He died, leaving behind not the slightest hint he had intended towards his bizarre and uncompleted puzzle, the mystery of Edwin Drood. And together, when we reach that point in Mr. Dickens' novel, when he wrote no more, I shall be asking you to vote upon key questions regarding the outcome of our plot. Our company will then make its most earnest effort to meet this supreme challenge, to contrive an ending in accordance to your specifications. So come on, relax, kick off your boots, loosen your corsets, and enjoy yourselves. And for those gentlemen among you who arrived alone and require companionship up through the final curtain, you need only speak to our stage manager, Miss Jane Throttle, whose pleasure it is to see that
you will never go lonely again.
Oh, look, Jane, he wants fixing up now. His
my
tongue's
God.
hanging out. I mean, look at him.
Wagging.
No, he's wearing a pink tie.
Ooh, pink is not your color, darling.
No, ma'am.
Oh, that's all right.
All right, so let us proceed with tonight's bill of fare. Presenting for the first time ever, the completed musical rendition of The Mystery of Edwin Drood. Cloisterham, the ancient mouldering cathedral city of Cloisterham. Not a particularly encouraging setting for the winter season now upon us. A giant shudder goes through the giant elms as they shed a gush of tears. And here we are in the home of Mr. John Jasper, choir master of Cloisterham Cathedral. Choir master, composer, organist, and vocal instructor, John Jasper is blessed with a voice the angels themselves might envy. And who more suited to essay the role than the gifted vocalist himself, your very own Mr. Clive Paget.
Another trifling day, one more soul-stifling day of blinding pain. Boredom grinds my brain down to the green. A man could go quite mad and not be all that's bad. Consider each superb, disturbing urge you've ever had. To curse aloud in church or joke each bloke who throws a smile your way. Be that as it may, a man could have bad dreams and not be all he seems, yet not be far removed from all the noblest of extremes. Sometimes I think that sanity is just a passing fad. A man could go quite mad. Unblessed are the dull, one ceaseless, peaceless lull. Some wondrous night, storm-struck, thunderous light will cast me right. A sculptor lacking arms, a sorcerer lacking charms, a fiend who frightens no one, for there's no one that he harms, whose clutches collected only desperate respite from this dim tableau. Knowing this is so, I hide myself in thought where one cannot be caught, and feed on dreams that contradict each edict I've been taught. And if someday I lose my way and mind you'll find me glad, a man could go quite, man could go quite, man could go quite mad!
John Jasper eagerly awaits the arrival of his beloved nephew and title character of our evening's diversion, young Edwin Drood.
Hello, Uncle.
Why, there's the lad now.
My dear uncle.
Yes, dear ladies and gentlemen, your eyes do not deceive you. Devotees of male impersonation are more used to seeing Miss Nutting when she does her inimitable rendition of Aren't I Half a Doff? But tonight, she disguises her distinctive form under the garb of young Edwin Drood. Ladies and gentlemen, a warm round of applause, if you will, for London's leading male impersonator, Miss Alice Nutting.
Any dinner, Uncle?
You forget, Ned, that uncle and nephew are words strictly prohibited here by express agreement.
Of course, you're right, John. After all, there are only a couple dozen years or so between our ages. Hello, John, don't drink yet. I must propose a toast.
A toast to what, Ned?
He asks to what? To Rosa.
Rosa.
To the fair Rosa Bud. Surely you have not forgotten that her and I are to soon be wed?
It has not quite slipped my mind.
Yes, a tedious ceremony in your creaking cathedral, John, and then off with my wonderfully pretty child bride to dusty old Egypt, where I intend to shake things up a bit.
It is certain, then. Egypt seems a desperate great distance.
Indeed it is, John. This portrait of Rosa is not one of my better efforts, Jack. Yet you choose to hang it here. In heaven's name, why?
Because it reminds me of you, Ned, and of the happiness I wish you and Rosa.
Oh, I'm sure we'll be quite happy, though our courtship suffers from an unavoidable flatness, owing to the fact that my dead and gone father and her dead and gone father had as good as married us at birth. Why the devil couldn't they have left us alone?
Tut, tut, dear boy.
Tut, tut! Yes, it's all very well for you, Jack. You have the freedom to love whomsoever you choose.
Don't stop, dear fellow. Do go on.
Have I hurt your feelings, John?
How could you have hurt my feelings?
Oh, good heavens, Jack! You look frightfully ill. There's a strange film come over your eyes.
I've been taking a medicine for pain, an agony that overcomes me. I've been forced of late to seek treatment in London. But fear not, the effect shall soon be gone.
My poor uncle.
Then take it as a warning, Ned. Edwin, this shall be a confidence between us.
It shall be sacredly preserved, John.
And why? And I have confided in you because...
Because we are fast friends, and because you love and trust me, and as I love and trust you. Both hands, Jack. My dearest Uncle Jack.
My dearest nephew Ned, a life without your friendship would be life as good as dead. The winds of hell may blow, but as you well may know, I'll heed your call, no need to small and face the fires below. For you, two kinsmen more than brothers, we know no next of kin, and yet we know no others close beneath the skin. The blood that flows between us, the bonds that tie us twain. Two kinsmen when all others bleed and we remain. My dearest nephew Ned.
My dearest Uncle Jack. If men say words against you, I would make them take them back. A loyal lad am I, who'd be but glad to die. If by my death one extra breath of life for you I'd buy. 'Tis true.
'Tis true. For you. Two kinsmen more than brothers, we know no next of kin, and yet we know no others close beneath the skin. The blood that flows between us, the bonds that tie us twain. Two kinsmen when all others bleed and we remain.
'Tis true.
'Tis true.
For you.
Two kinsmen are we two.
Miss Alice Nutting and Mr. Clive Paget, ladies and gentlemen. I trust the moderation of your applause merely means you are conserving your energy up through the final curtain. But to continue our story, young Edwin Drood is visiting Cloisterham to give his regards to his bride-to-be, the fair Miss Rosa Budd, who, like Drood, is an orphan. Miss Budd resides at Cloisterham's most respectable seminary for young ladies, aptly, if not correctly named, the Nun's House, in the part of Rosa Budd this evening, that most delicate of English roses, that most blossoming of bud that's even yet to be plucked, the unspeakably lovely Deidre Peregrine.
I only pray I may be able to say these words on each of your birthdays.
I fear that is not likely, seeing as your nephew Edwin and I will be departing for Egypt once we're married.
It was only a wish, Rosa. How beautiful you look. I've awaited your birthday with eagerness.
Eagerness, Mr. Jasper.
Yes, your voice will no longer be a subject to the fluctuations of adolescence. And in what condition is your voice in today, my dear student?
Perhaps that is a question best answered by you, Mr. Jasper. Shall I sing the Mozart?
No. I have composed a song especially for you on the occasion of your birthday. A choir master's pay being what it is. My life's blood is all I can afford to offer.
Mr. Jasper, I cannot sing these words. It would not be proper.
Why? Whatever can you mean?
I am not worthy of it.
As your choir master, that should be my decision. From the top, if you please.
day. Upon a steely sheet of light I lay, and in the moonfall I'll give myself to you. I'll bathe in moonfall and dress myself in dew. Before the cloak of night reveals the morn, time holds its breath while it conceals the dawn, and in the moonfall all sound is frozen still, yet warm against me. Your skin will warm the chill of moonfall. I feel its fingers lingers, the veil of nightshade, light made from stars that all too soon fall. Moonfall, upwards from you. Betwixt our hearts let nothing intervene. Betwixt our hearts the only sight I've seen, the sight of moonfall as it blinds my view, so that soon I only see but you.
That was lovely, Rosa. But the lovely will not do. When you say these words, you must make me feel you. Mean them. From the top again, if you please.
Between the very dead of night and day, upon a steely sheet of light. Ah! Oh, it's okay. It's okay. It's all over now. Don't speak to her for a minute, and she'll be well.
She's not used to an audience. Besides, Mr. Jasper, you're such a conscientious master, you make her afraid, no wonder.
No wonder.
You'd be afraid under similar circumstances, wouldn't you, Miss Landless?
Not under any circumstances.
Ladies and gentlemen, our own fiery spirit, the unpredictable Miss Janet Canova.
Good evening to you, Reverend Chris Sparkle.
Good evening, Mr. Jasper. May I introduce to you young Neville Landless? He and his sister Helena have arrived here from Prussia, where they no longer have any family. Neville has been entrusted to my care, and Helena will be staying here at the nun's house.
Welcome to Cloisterham, Mr. Landless.
Neville has been given to me, I fear, to calm his rather hot-tempered nature, and to help him make a new beginning here in Cloisterham.
You and your sister lost your parents recently, Mr. Landless.
Their mother died when they were quite young. Now their stepfather has crossed over as well.
I'm most sorry.
There is no need for you bright to console me, as it happens as well my stepfather died when he did, or I might have killed him.
Ladies and gentlemen, the newest member of our company, Mr. Victor Grinstead.
I surprise you, sir.
You shock me, unspeakably shock me.
You did not see me meet my sister. My stepfather was a brute, Mr. Jasper. In desperation, Helena tried on more than one occasion to flee his miserable and cruel hand, even disguising herself as a boy. But to no avail. From my early remembrances, I've been secret and revengeful.
There's the lad.
However, sir, your kindness and goodwill has deeply moved me, and I pledge to change my ill-tempered ways and break new ground for myself.
You see, Mr. Jasper, he'll soon fit right in here in Clysterham.
Your pupil, Mr. Jasper, she sings so beautifully.
Thank you.
Your efforts are never without success.
I trust so, Mr. Landless.
And may I inquire if this relationship extends beyond pupil and master?
Heavens, no, Neville. Miss Budd is betrothed to young Edwin Drood, Mr. Jasper's nephew.
You do your best to cast your eyes and directions in other places.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Jasper.
No pardon is necessary. However, I must be off. Choir practice, I fear.
Thank you. Thank you indeed, Mr. Jasper. I trust we shall meet again. And I'd like to meet this Drood and see what kind of man is worthy of the affection of Miss Budd.
Steady, lad, steady.
You're feeling much better now, aren't you?
Much, thank you.
These surroundings, which may be very secure to you, are new and unsettling to me. You'll be my friend, won't you?
I will with such as great as might as I can to such a womanly and handsome creature as you.
Who is Mr. Jasper?
My Edwin's uncle. My music master.
You know that he loves
Don't.
you.
Just don't. He terrifies me. He is mainly a slave with his looks and forces me to keep silent without uttering a single threat.
Oh, careful! You are tearing Mr. Jasper's composition.
'Tis of no matter. I do not intend to sing it again.
We now step from the chaste sanctity of the nun's house and travel, for reasons which will soon become clear, to the wickedest corner of the wickedest hole in the fabric of the city of London. Below the street and beneath contempt lies the opium den of the Princess Puffer. Here the universal tongue of opium is spoken, with its subdialects of prostitution, burglary, violence of profit, and murder. And reigning supreme over this blemish on England's fair complexion is the Princess Puffer, who ministrates to her client's needs and hears more than she tells. Portrayed this evening by the Grand Dame of the Music Hall Royale, the grandmother of the Red Light District, that good woman of ill repute. I give you Miss Angela Prysock.
Crime don't pay, that's what I tells 'em. If it did, would I be here mixing pipes or what I sells 'em for a pint of rotten beer? Throats you cut to pocket threepence, or you slut to comp some sleep. Bash your face for bleeding tuppence, pure disgrace to work so cheap. So I says, don't be a sinner for the price of London gin. You can't pay for one square dinner with the wages of sin. Sell my soul. Come, love, come off it. Who would buy this sack of skin? On the whole, there ain't much profit in the wages of sin. In the wages of sin. In the wages of sin. Hey, don't I know you? What piece of crumpet you been buttering up instead of me? What slice of raspberry tart you been? Oh no. I'm so sorry, sir. I didn't realize. First night on the town with him. Well, never fear, love. I've had him on numerous occasions, and God bless whatever you're going to store for you. It'll be over within an instant. I've seen girls from gutter families trap rich men with fooltry ways. They cry, cool, pass the jam, please. Over nuptial breakfast trays. Over there in bed 11 sleeps a bleeding hypocrite. Spends his days, eyes cast to heaven. Spends his nights amongst this shit. Oh no, I'm so sorry, love. I did not mean to. It will never, ever happen again. All right, where was I? Spends his days, eyes cast to heaven, spends his nights amongst this. All right, shit. So I say, don't take half measures, do things right, and dig right in. In this world, there's greater treasures than the wages of sin. I get threats and seldom offers. If I did, I'd pack it in. You can't fill too many coffers with the wages of sin. Oh, would everyone help an old lass out on the last note, would you? All right, everyone. With the wages of sin. Oh, that was bloody awful. I said sing, didn't I? It's my closing night of my senior show. You're not gonna sing with me? Oh, Lord. All right, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it again. We're gonna do it again. Please give us the notes. With the wages of sin. Oh, God loves you all. God loves you all. Thank you.
The meanest room in the city of London, and would not the parishioners of Cloisterham be astounded to see in bed 11 the goodly choirmaster of Cloisterham Cathedral, Mr. John Jasper?
Woman, I need more laudanum wine, and quickly. My task is only half finished, and your medicine is less potent than usual.
Laudanum?
Yes.
Mixing opium with the wine these days?
Yes. Before I get to the changes of colors and great landscapes, I must be rid of him.
Who?
Him!
God spare you, there's no one there.
Look, there he is, and there I am.
Yes, of course. Now, you just lie back, and have yourself a pleasant journey. so bad?
I cannot seem to recall exactly what I've said. I seem to be lost. Could you point me to the nearest railway station?
5 and threepence, yows, mate.
Seems like a hefty price for such a small courtesy. However, if you are that needy. And the railway station?
Nearest is Aldgate, about 10 minutes walk away from the river.
Thank you. Incredible.
Who are you then, and what are you?
I wonder how many of you noticed that meaningful statement that sounded suspiciously like me. It sounded like a clue. Might we have it again, my dear? Yep, just, there we go. Yep, right there.
Who are you then, and what are you?
Why are you applauding? What indeed, but it is now the next day. We are now going to meet Cloistham's leading citizen, Mayor Thomas Sapsey.
Good evening, Mayor Sapsey. Who? Is he? Who? Oh.
Hold that thought, dear.
What?
Bill,
What?
come here for a second.
What's wrong?
He gone.
Again?
Again?
Why?
Yes, he was calling the bar.
How?
You know, he was in the bar fighting for a lady's honor. Mama said knock you out.
Really?
Yeah, she didn't really want it, though.
He was hit?
Yes, with a sack of
what?
I don't know.
Well, it is unacceptable, but you notice once again who gets saddled with the ladies and gentlemen. Your kind indulgence for a short announcement. The part of Mayor Thomas Sapsey will not, I repeat, will not be played by Mr. James Hitchens, as is stated in your program. As many of you know, Mr. Hitchens has appeared more frequently at the bar in the rear than up front in the headlights. Then it will come to no surprise to many of our regulars that Mr. Hitchens is once again massively indisposed. Yeah, due to injuries he received while
fighting for a lady's honor.
fighting for a lady's honor.
Oh.
Per usual.
Apparently the lady wanted to keep it. So the part of Mayor Sapsey will be played this evening by your own humble chairman and obedient servant. I'm referring, of course, to myself. Myself, yes. Mr. William Cartwright.
Wrap it up, Bill.
And I
Wrap it up.
might add that it is more your luck than mine.
It's
I
really
don't
not.
want to
It's
do
really
this.
not. Move. Let's go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, go back, please. Please, kind of go back. We're restarting the scene. Everybody, be calm. I'm so sorry for the inconvenience. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor Sapsey.
Good evening, Mr. Crisparkle.
Oh, these are my new charges from Prussia. I've taken them here to meet... Oh, here he comes now. Helena, Neville, I'd like you to meet young Edwin Drood.
Sir,
Sir, I congratulate you on your good fortune, Mr. Drood.
good fortune, sir.
Your betrothal.
Oh, yes, Rosa.
Our young Ned is off to your segment of the globe, Neville.
Prussia, Mr. Drood.
No, but much the same. Egypt.
To make your good fortune, sir.
No, but to ensure that Egypt has one. I shall shortly be taking over my family's engineering concern there, and I pray to pull off a miracle.
Pray, what miracle?
The Cairo Transverse, Mr. Landless. A thoroughfare for coast travel and commerce across the deserts to Alexandria.
A monumental task, Mr. Drood.
Yes.
But one wonders where one will obtain, say, the paving stones?
From the pyramids?
No!
Yes. My studies show that there's enough rock in the first half of the Great Pyramid alone.
This is English blasphemy. It is enough that you civilize every land that you conquer.
Neville, let's not raise a fuss here in, Street.
I meant no offense, sir.
And I didn't mean my awkward ways to arouse such emotion. And splendid your feathers, Miss Board.
I'm sure Mr. Landless only feels passionately about his part of the globe, Edwin.
As long as he keeps his passions in check.
I fear I've not yet adapted myself to your strange climate, Master Edwin, Miss Sport.
My uncle has already given me some account of your hot-blooded temperament and past, sir. I hope you have left them both behind you.
My reputation precedes me here. A situation I needs must fear. What hope have I of blending in with this my shade of green? I thought I cleaned my slate at last, but they anticipate my past.
What shall I show them the full effect?
What do I owe them? What they expect? A British subject on display, and from abroad today. Our immigration to this location has brought our station down a mile. The situation, the right creation, and rank and file and English are they, and British am I.
British are they, and English am I.
There are two subjects we don't discuss.
One is our monarch, the other's us.
And yet I fear you soon may be the subject of scrutiny.
A British subject, none the less.
From when and why they'll try to guess.
Cape Town or Burma, what's all the fuss? All terra firma belongs to us.
A British subject bred and born, and subject not to scorn. Our immigration to this location has brought our station down a mile. The situation, the creation, and rank and file and English are they, and British am I. Our immigration to this location has brought our station down a mile. The situation, the right creation, and rank and file and English are they, and British am I. This is the way we'll stay. Till we die. Till we die.
You see, Mayor Sapsy, it is just as I've been saying. There's an instinctive rivalry between my own dear boy and this landless fellow. I fear his hot-blooded Eastern temperament.
I think you exaggerate the matter, Mr. Jack.
I will go mad! Do you not know that there's more than one side, one face to all things in nature?
Come now.
Beneath Neville's tainted English accent, in adopted English manners, there's a heathen landless, a tribesman landless, a half-blood, half-bred, half-caste, who would kill just as easily as he'd comb his sleek hair.
This is quite extraordinary, Mr. Jasper.
On the contrary, Mayor Sapsy, I myself suffer from this sort of duality on occasion. Sometimes I will forget things, and in going back to fetch them, I'd half expect to meet myself rounding a corner I've already turned.
What about me? Having to be your chairman and this Mayor Sapsy bloke at the same time. It is damned confusing.
Yes, like our two-sided Neverlandless, I find that. I am not myself these days, for all I know I might be you. There's more than room, enough for two inside my mind.
I am likewise in a haze of who I am from scene to scene. What's more, we two, we four, I mean, are in a bind.
For is it I or is it he?
And if I'm him, and if I'm he, each one of us might not agree on what to do.
And if I take opposing sides within myself, then who divides up what is right and wrong?
I'll go along with you.
A penny, 1 penny, 2 penny, 3 penny, top to a shilling, 5 dice of a florin, and would you not fancy the currency foreign? The finance take face on both sides of the coin. Bobby's your uncle from pennies to guineas, the two-sided mint is the rule, not exception, and would you not quite feel the full of deception? The finance take face on both sides of the coin.
Hard to reverse.
Heads or tails?
High or low.
A black, a white.
It's up or down.
A left or right, or night or day.
Nature seldom never fails to most obligingly provide an undisclosed opposing side. Though one's dismay.
There's shadows in this shining morn.
If there's a rose, it bears a thorn.
You're good as dead as soon as born, and yet we smile.
But luck's division is perverse.
It seems to work more in the reverse.
If things are better, they'll be worse in just a while.
Half penny, 1 penny, 2 penny, 3 penny, chop to a shilling, twice that of a florin, and budget not fancy the currency foreign. The finest say face on both sides of the coin. Always your uncle from pennies to guineas, the two-sided mixes, the rule not exception, and budget not quite the full of deception. The finest say face on both sides of the coin. Half penny, 1 penny, 2 penny, 3 penny, chop to a shilling, twice that of a florin, and budget not fancy the currency foreign. The finest say face on both sides of the coin. Always your uncle from pennies to guineas, the two-sided mixes, the rule not exception, and budget not quite the full of deception. The finest say face on both sides of the coin. Penny, 1 penny, 2 penny, 3 penny, chop to a shilling, twice that of a thorn, and budget not fancy the currency foreign. A finance they face on both sides of the coin. Always your uncle from pennies to guineas, the two-sided mixes of rule not exception, and budget not quite the full of deception. The finance they face on both sides of the coin. Both sides of the coin. Hey!
All right. I'll take everything out. Half penny, 1 penny, 2 penny, 3 penny. Somebody try. Whoever that person is, thank you. You've convinced me, Mr. Jasper. I shall certainly keep my eye out on this Neverlandless fellow.
What's a brilliant and original idea, Mayor Sapsy? But now I must change.
Good evening to you, sir. Goodbye. We now step from Cloisterham High Street and fall in step with a relic only known to the citizens of Cloisterham as Durdles, a gentleman whose knowledge of the cathedral tombs is exceeded only by his capacity for wine and spirits. He is wending towards an important assignation.
What's that you say, Bill?
I said an important assignation with Mayor Sapsy, who lives just around behind.
What's that you say, Bill?
I said around behind.
And so have you.
I did not come here to be insulted.
Why? Where do you usually go?
I'm not a complete fool, you know.
Which bit is missing?
You're sitting next to an idiot.
Pleased to meet you.
Essaying the role of Durdles, the clown prince of the Music Hall Royale, I give you your friend, not mine, and I don't want him back. Mr. Nick Cricker.
A sister dear friends, and my own young lad, Nick Cricket II.
Yes, a warm round of applause for Nick Cricker and Son.
Good afternoon, Mayor Sapsy.
Good afternoon, Durdles.
Sorry, sir. I have a touch of rheumatism. Sorry.
No, you mean rheumatism.
No, sir. I've been working on your dead wife's grave.
Please refer to the late Mrs. Thomas Sapsy as just that, Durdles. The late Mrs. Thomas Sapsy. That is how I like to refer to her. Indeed, that's how I like to think of her.
She was 1 in a million.
No, 1 in a raffle. Oh. But is my wife's tomb ready?
Yes, the doors are ready for her inscribing. I think she'll be more comfortable when she's moved from her temporary grave. It's not at all damp, and the moles haven't had a chance to get to her, but not much we can do about the worms. Pretty sure they've been eating Mr. Sapsy no matter.
Okay, that is quite enough, Durdles. And who is this boy?
My protege, name of deputy.
I want your wife's grave myself, sir.
No.
I have the keys right here. It'll be my pleasure to put your women right in there tomorrow. There's enough room in there for the royal family to have an afternoon tea.
Yes.
And Mr. Jasper asked if he could see the crypt earlier today, actually.
You might like to add that to your list of suspicious statements.
Steady on, Bill. All these people hopping to conclusions without all the facts at hand. Otherwise, we'll be running off to the races. Off to the races!
Wait.
Let's off to the races! Let's have the force of all the
No.
races!
Stop. That is scheduled for later in the evening. We mustn't delay the dramatic tension we are building here. You know that.
Do I? Off to the races! Off to the races! Off to the race we
Oh,
go!
shut up! Oh, shut up! Oh. Get out!
You know what? Tonight's my last show here, you know, and I will have my way eventually. I quit!
Okay. Now, to continue our story, we now follow Durdles and Deputy to Cloisterham Graveyard.
Durdles. Durdles.
Who's that? Doodles, who's that? Mr. Jasper, is that
What?
you?
You cunning devil, have you been watching me? I had the blood of you. There. That should do it.
You murdered him!
What? What you say?
Murder!
Stop talking such lunacy, Durdles, and help me revive the dear boy. Only hold up.
There, you bastard! I'll store your eyes out next time!
Quiet, you young wretch.
Why do you assault me this way, deputy?
You're right for the asylum, Mr. Jasper. Huh.
Peculiar lad.
Blame it on his infectious youth, sir. That wine you gave me earlier, Mr. Jasper, is more potent than I'm accustomed to. Did you have a look at Mrs. Sapsey's tomb while I was asleep?
No. I seem to be lost.
I was lost myself in a fitful dream. I dreamed that someone was touching me and trying to take something from me, and oh, there it is. It's the keys to the crypt. I strict instructions from Mr. Sapsey to not leave the keys around, and wait. The key to Mr. Sapsey's tomb is missing. What do you say of it, Mr. Jasper?
I think I have guests due at any moment for Christmas dinner. And a poor host I hope not to offer them the comfort and joy of the season. A happy Christmas to you, Durdles.
And God rest ye merry, Mr. John Jasper.
Oh yes, what a bright and chatting afternoon we've spent amongst these silent tombs, eh, my betrothed? No, Rosa, we are not legally bound to marriage.
Then let us be brother and sister from this day forth.
Never to be husband and wife?
Never.
Rosa, I must confess, this idea of yours does not originate with you alone.
I know you haven't been that happy with our engagement, and nor have I.
I'm sorry, Rosa.
You poor boy.
If only our marriage had not been assured since birth, perhaps we would know how we truly feel about one another.
If we were perfect strangers, how perfect life could be.
I'd know if I adore you, you'd know if you love me. Too much we've seen together to judge the view. Too much we've been together, and I'd assumed the future,
And I presumed that you were there, and yet I brother, sister, I pray you, take this clasp, left to me by my mother, as a mark of our eternal friendship. God bless you.
God bless you, dear.
How do I feel about you?
I care.
Too near to touch you, my dearest Ned. How much you mean
how we love us,
to me?
how
How much
know it,
you
how would we
mean
feel
to
it,
me?
how would we show it?
If we were perfect strangers, I would have loved you perfectly.
All of this will come as a terrible blow to my uncle.
Do you mind if we kept it from your uncle for just a little while longer?
Of course. Why give him such sad news on Christmas Eve? But we must be off. He's expecting us for dinner, and I fear there's a storm brewing.
What bizarre climate do you have here in Closterham? First snow, now this threatening storm. The gods must be angry.
God must be angry. Neville, not gods. We use the singular here in England.
What the storm for Christmas Eve?
Yes, it was a night quite like this tonight that Rosa's mother died.
Neville tells me you were once engaged to Rosa's mother, Mr. Crisparkle.
Yes, but I fear I was a bit too Anglican and a bit too angular for her. Then one night, on her 2-year wedding anniversary, just a few months after Rosa was born, she slipped while walking unattended along the cliffside and drowned in the ungrateful waves. But enough about that. Let us follow Mr. Jasper's lead and forget our grievances with ourselves and with life over a sturdy Christmas dinner.
Please forgive me for the meager merits of my humble table.
Hello, all. So sorry we're late, but we fought the storm awfully.
Miss Budd, it is wonderful to see you again. Let me take your things.
I had no idea you had taken on domestic staff, Uncle.
Lads! Rosa, you have no idea what it means to have you in my chambers.
Miss Budd, how is it in the wondrous season of holly you remind me of the flowering hibiscus?
And how is it you remind me of an inconsistent baker, Neville? For while your metaphors seem quite stale, your mannerisms are uncommonly fresh.
You've got to foster! Gentlemen! It is Christmas Eve, and I will no longer tolerate the unchristian-like behavior between the two of you. Now, this is mulled wine. Good stuff indeed. I obtained it on a recent trip to London.
Well, any port in a storm for me, Uncle?
Yes, lad. Any port in a storm? None for me, thank you.
Now, let us drink deep.
This wine is more potent than usual, Uncle.
I thought you lads would like it. Now, let there be no more ill will between the two of you.
There is no longer any cause for our rivalry, Neville. You have my friendship, if you wish it.
Then a Merry Christmas to you too, Edwin.
The goose is cooked.
Gentlemen, ladies, please, do be seated.
Sir, I don't much like your tone. That's too personal. Yes, now you wear clear. You wear a finer cut than mine, but a waistcoat torn can soon be worn to braggarts to maggots on you.
Something in his speech seems ominous to me. The wind don't overpreach, pray promise this to me.
Praise to him divine, for this we should be glad.
Won't you try some wine? No good can come from that. My dearest nephew Ned, I wish to wish you well. The world is yours before you, just like
Voices on the shelf.
Landless as you are renowned, your blood is hot, but less than pure, less than sure than we. Your history would indicate the past of some have cast from through your veins. Your crudeness thus explains.
Something sent a chill like feet upon my grave. Can my strength and will completely never save?
This we should be glad.
night must follow day. No good can come from bad. My dearest, deepest friends, may I propose a toast to Rosa Bud and Edwin Drood. Cheers!
Then here's the roast.
How very blessed are we when oh so many starve. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done.
Which one of you will carve?
Glances cut like blade through bone with daggers drawn. I glare at you, dare at you, who dare presume to stare at whom I make my wife and share my life. I see you dead before sweet Rosa weds.
Fate though it's near, I feel it, I fear it. We are friends and yet they'll not soon forget. Hearing Neville's threat, every epithet.
In younger days I hungered for another, Rosa's mother. After Rosa's birth she left this earth, now dust is all I'm worth.
So long a time they've thought that I'm dressed and all quite naive. But I perceive these boys, this noise more grinding than they might conceive.
And as I stand
by, Rosa's mother.
With these new additions, there may be revealed murderous submissions, otherwise concealed.
Follow you I call for, warning you I've had.
No good can come from that. No good. No good can come from that.
Oh my! What a dreadful storm for Christmas Eve! I must go to the riverway to see this fit of nature unchecked. Will you excuse me, Uncle?
Of course. I will join you on your walk.
I also must retire for the nun's house. Good night, Edwin.
My dear.
Everyone.
Rosa.
Be careful how you tread, Neville.
Then I shall see the ladies safely home.
Will you join us, Uncle?
No, I'm afraid not, Ned. I have plans I must execute. But I cannot let you leave in that flimsy old thing. You should wear my humble yet serviceable caped coat.
Come, Edwin. Your destiny calls.
Well, goodbye, Uncle. Goodbye, all!
When shall... Get the light. When shall these three meet again? When, if ever? It is now late the next day, Christmas Day, to be sure. The storm is over, but in its mist, there is to be found no trace of young Edwin Drood.
feel something terrible has happened to Edwin.
Let us wait until my assistant Bazzard arrives. You've heard the sentiment, I'm sure, that no news is most certainly good news. Oh, there he comes now. Bazzard, what news?
No news.
See, there you have it. I don't believe you've met my assistant Bazzard. His main occupation is to lead excursion parties to our church. Quite the showman is our Bazzard, though tragically misplaced.
Misplaced?
Our Bazzard holds with him a terrible secret. Now, Rosa, can you tell me what you think Mr. Bazzard's secret is?
Nothing too dreadful, I hope.
Mr. Bazzard has written a play, a tragedy.
The Thorn of Anxiety.
When will it be performed?
Never.
Never.
Sometimes, I believe Mr. Bazzard takes more pride in the play's lack of support. Like a citizen of Greece who prefers the Parthenon in ruin. But I hope to see his play one day performed.
I do too, Mr. Bassett.
I love the theatrical world, but there are many stages beyond the proscenium. I long to play a larger part.
Then, use your enviable creativity to find some accounting for young Ned.
That assignment I eagerly accept.
Oh, Edwin.
How much like her mother she looks. If the Lord seen me fit to smile upon me, if Rosa's mother had not married another, nor died at that pleasure party, I might have been Rosa's...
Father, please, give me your prayers.
Rise, my child. The cathedral bell summons us.
See, Miss Sapsy, it is just as I was saying. Do you not find it suspicious that Neville Landless was last seen fleeing the district?
You've convinced me, Mr. Jasper. There very well may be a hidden murderer hiding in Cloyston's most affectionate bosom. Yes, and all signs do point to young Neville Landless.
My thoughts exactly, sir.
I shall instruct a few strong fellows to bring him here so that we may question him.
You do that, sir.
Jasper! Mr. Jasper! Look what I've discovered.
Yeah, it's the coat I gave Edwin last night. It's been torn to ribbons and blood. There's blood on it. Where did you find this?
Under a rock by the River Weir.
Oh, no. My dear boy was murdered. Record this in your memory, Bassett, that I shall fasten the crime of murder upon the murderer and devote myself to his destruction.
I shall remember your words, Mr. John Jasper.
That's it for you this evening, Philip.
That's right, Bill.
Well, it hardly seems worth your coming up from Knutsford each night, doesn't it? You seem to specialize in these narrow parts of late.
Not by choice, Mr. Cartwright.
Let's see. In Julius Caesar, you played...
Oh, Senator!
Ah. So at least you were in for the kill. Well, when you think of it, it's hard to wonder why Mr. Dickens wrote your character at all. Unless, of course, he had a more promising future in store for you.
That's been my solace in the role, Mr. Cartwright.
Yes. Still, you do understudy Mr. Clive Paget as John Jasper. I know surely one of these...
In actuality, Mr. Paget claims to have never missed a performance in his entire career.
Ah, well, Philip, our first act is almost complete, and our second act is considerably shorter than the first. Would you have a song ready at hand? Shall we? Shall we? Yes, there we go, yes.
Well, as a matter of happenstance, Mr. Cartwright, I do have, in common with my role this evening, aspirations as an author and have composed a brief song which I venture to say underscores the dilemma I share with the character of Bassett I portray. I hesitate...
Come, it's titled, Mr. Bax.
Oh, never the luck, Mr. Cartwright.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting an undebuted and perhaps rightfully unheard composition, Mr. Philip Bax singing his own Never the Luck.
Never the luck, and never the lead, and never you mind, they say. In time we all taste the lime in the light, and I'll have my night someday. Still, each precious part seems over and done before I've begun to speak. I cast out my line and keep my hand in, but I'll not stand in this week. Some starless night, they'll call towards the wings. Who here dances and sings? That's when yours truly springs. And seeing me, then they will cry. Why, he knows each line and everyone's cue. We must let him do the part. I'll leap center stage, the music will play. I'll waltz my way into your heart. Though ever I plan and ever I plot, with ever the pluck to try, I wait for my star by fate to be struck, but never the luck have I.
Neville, and you fellows, enough! Enough now!
There's your murderer, sir! Get him!
What have I done?
Nothing, I'm certain, lad. I'm sure there's...
Where is Edwin Drood?
Why do you ask me that way?
Because you were the last person seen in his company.
Mayor Sapsy, do you wish to question him? You left for the river with Edwin Drood at what time?
In all honesty, sir, I cannot remember what transpired once Edwin and I had reached the river.
What are these bloodstains upon your shirt front, Mr. Landless?
I had acquired these bloodstains when these men of yours have forcibly dragged me from the countryside where I had been walking.
Never Landless, as acting constable of the district, I am placing you under arrest!
Neville? How many of them did it take to mar you in this way?
8.
You have an interesting way with the law here in Cloisterham, Mr. Sepsi. And you, Mr. Jasper. For days now, you've been warning all of Cloisterham of the impending violence between your nephew and my brother. What do you know of this?
Only that my nephew is dead.
Mayor Sapsy, I warrant that young Neville knows nothing than that which he has freely volunteered.
And you shall volunteer nothing further, Neville.
I would remind you and your brother, there is the issue of murder at hand.
Before you utter that word again, you laughable man. Perhaps you may be good enough to supply a body, a victim, a corpse, something more tangible than an errant nephew, a timorous uncle, and a ludicrous city official who has no backing for his charges beyond pure pomp and circumstance.
Hear, hear.
Well said, Helena.
Mayor Sapsy, without Edward Drood's corpse, you can't possibly incriminate young Neville.
Oh, very well, release him.
Oh, bless you, Mr. Crisparkle.
I am overpaid.
I only wish there was some other way to express my gratitude without this strange, somewhat geographically untraceable accent.
Yes. Well, let's pause for a moment, shall we? Here is where matters now lie. Edwin Drood has vanished, and may very well be Clive.
Dead. John Jaspers has sworn vengeance upon his nephew's men.
to whom was populous the suspect to be Neville Landless.
But the charges against Neville have been rescinded due to Helena Landless, steely resolve, and the kindly...
Good Reverend Crisparkle, who was in love with...
Rose's deceased mother. Yet no one begs the question of...
The mysterious purveyor of opium, Princess Puffer.
Statements to consider under one admonition. Should you find yourself trying to guess the ending without all the proper evidence, you may find yourself carried off to the races.
Right, Bill, let's have a chorus of off to the races!
A spontaneous request, which brings us rather adroitly, I think, to a song. For what evening at the Music Hall Royale would be complete without a rendition of its trademark anthem, Off to the Races! Quick conclusions often lead the best of us astray. The wisest move in life is just to wait. Otherwise your galloping emotions run away
Like horses at the gate. Off to the races, off to the races, off to the race we go. And what the chase is, and what the pace is, we seldom seem to know. Men with broken hearts are vowed to never more pursue a member of a soft and savoured race.
Savoured race.
Family anchored to the ground and suddenly overview of fair and favoured face. Then off to the races, avoid the races, where flirty faces call. When saving graces, strong drink replaces the need for love at all. Don't fall back on your assumptions, hasty presumptions might do you in. Mind the track like a man running blind, lagging behind you'll find you'll win.
Bless our Queen Victoria, she's had 9 kids to date. You wonder how Prince Albert got enthused. Probably by her decree he had to procreate. Said she make me amused.
Off to the races, the royal races, the same poor folks do.
When she embraces her royal graces, the same and wants as you.
And it seems like it rains every day. And it will if I have my say. On this land and its lanes, Fill the trains, fill the serpentine. And I pray I die 'neath the gray English sky. And if signs of a clearing appear, if one cloud remains, then I'll know England reigns. England reigns each day, each year. Right, we are, I hope, rested, relaxed, rejuvenated, and more than ready to conclude our story with your votes, shortly to be counted. The mystery of Edwin Drood. 6 months have passed, and English summer is now in progress. Edwin Drood is still missing, and all of Cloisterham is agog with rumor and suspicion. But there are furthering developments. 2 inquiring sleuths are about to appear on the scene, one being the Princess Puffer, whom you have already met, and the other, a man of mystery, who wears a bulky coat, a fulsome beard, by the name of Dick Datchery. I said Dick Datchery.
Right.
These apparent strangers meet with grand intentions and even greater expectations, which I might add we are presenting in Brighton next season. And just like us, the Princess Puffer and Dick Datchery are just now arriving at Cloisterham Station. Ah, there's John Jasper back from another treatment in London. And note that among the many curious souls of Cloisterham, none are more intently curious than these 2 sleuths.
While on the track of a man in black, he disappeared before the smoke cleared.
I'm on the scent of a resident. I'll check them well, inspect the personnel. I'm led upon a doubtful chase.
Who's dead and gone without a trace?
This is a private investigation. Just when did Drood depart and wherefore on his destination? It's a private investigation. He's vanished into where, or vanished where in all creation.
While on the tail of a small detail, I drew a bead upon a clue I need.
I'll navigate as me own first mate. Incognito, into the fog we go. I'm not a man of any means.
I'll search and scan beyond the scenes.
This is a private investigation. Since when did Drood depart and wherefore on his destination? It's a private investigation. I'll turn this private club into a public situation. It's a private. Since when did Drood depart and wherefore on his destination? It's a private investigation. Just when did Drood have gone? It's not beyond my estimation.
I'll bear in Brian scrutinize.
I'm steering by, pursuing lies. I clearly spy with my sly private eyes.
Ah, Reverend, there you are. All things bright and beautiful, I assume.
Yes, it's as if the very stars are mere punctures in the ceiling of earth, through which heaven's light can be seen. I only wish my assistant Bazard, who's away on business, could see a night such as this.
Hold on here, boy. It's a face we've never seen before. Welcome to Cloisterham, Captain. Name of Dirgles. I'm in charge of greeting anyone who might have a price of a bottle of wine on them.
My name is Datchery, Dick Datchery, and I was wondering if you had any lodgings around these parts.
Right on, Mr. Datchery.
Something architectural and out of the way. Inconvenient?
We have many inconvenient lodgings here, Mr. Datchery.
Close to the cathedral as well.
I apologize. I couldn't help overhearing you, but the only such accommodation that runs along those lines is rooms just above those of John Jasper. He's a great admirer of my own.
Is that the fellow who has been recently afflicted by the loss of his nephew, Edwin Drood?
Wait on, oh boy. This much afflicted fellow, John Jasper, is he always dressed in mourning these days?
That's the man, and you won't catch me going near him again.
Why is that, boy?
Because I won't be lifted off my legs and choked again.
I find that most interesting. I shall enjoy seeing the comings and goings of this town.
That man should speak to his tailor.
Miss A, do you know where Mr. John Jasper?
Are you ill?
No, I always look this way.
Rosa, it seems we have both been guilty of neglecting your music lessons. When shall we resume?
Never, sir.
Am I being politely told that you've abandoned your studies altogether?
The politeness is yours, not mine. I do not wish to be questioned.
Rosa.
I do not wish to hear you, sir.
Charming, Rosa. Beautiful Rosa. You will listen to me. I do not forget how many eyes come in the view of us, even against your wishes. When my dear boy was engaged to you, I loved you madly. And I hid our secret, did I not?
You made me afraid to open his kind eyes to the truth that you are a bad, bad man.
How beautiful you are. More beautiful in anger than repose. I don't need your love. Give yourself to me. That pretty rage, that enchanting scorn, it'll be enough for me. I warn you, sweet witch, rare charmer, stay or do more harm that can be undone.
You're mad.
I mean to show you how mad my love is.
Love? You dare use that word!
Yes.
Love, it's but a word that wandered here from pastures green, where it was rarely sort of seen and seldom sung. Innocent enough, it was intended to be used on rare occasions, not abused by every tongue. Rarely has a word ever been taken so in vain, what little meaning might remain is quickly blurred. Never has thou been so quite exhausted to determine your sighs and syllabus confirm you drain this word. You called it love.
I call it love.
I call it love.
You call it rude.
I call it love.
You think me just
I call it love.
a bit too crude.
I call it love.
And I the fool.
I cannot bear
Yet I still dare to call it love.
I think it foul.
I see you scowl.
I think it vile.
You see me smile.
The world takes
Tis you I'll break.
of a cunning guile.
I've no denial.
You're worse than bad.
My words are mad.
You give to sin.
I speak them in the name of love.
Rosa, but the dainty little face whose curse, she's a child of Galilee, a fight. Rosa is the only soul in Cloisterham, it seems, who senses just the sort of dreams you dream at night. Did you think your stare would stop me seeing? Every fiber of my being told me since I was betrothed that your most unnatural attention causes words I dare not mention. You must know how much I loathe to know your wants.
You know my wants.
To see you clutch.
I need not clutch.
To hear your voice.
You have no choice.
To feel your touch.
Is it so much
A dreadful task
for me to ask?
to even speak.
I only seek the name of love.
I will not fear.
I love to hear the angry bite
I have a choice.
of your fair voice.
Will take to flight.
One blazing night.
Will not permit.
You will submit.
You to desecrate.
And give your faith the name of love.
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 The name of love. The name of love. La 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 la. La 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 la. victim. You so enslaved, save me. And let these dreams remain.
John,
Awake my own trance mixed with war.
with the thunder
Of this love, my love, my love.
the name of love is chilling to me. Beneath these skies, one night unknown, would he dare? Between eyes, one sight
The sight of moonfall as it comes into view. So I promise that you shall be soon a golden idol, my own in love and lead into a sea of light.
Well, I've just heard a very important bit of information. Yes, I finally got the one piece of the puzzle I came here for.
Is he leaving close to him already?
Not bloody likely. I didn't come this far just to turn away with but one piece of the puzzle on my end. More the fool I'd be to turn away just when I'm winning. I never understood those in life who turn away just when they should push on. Once I bet my last 10 pence, and won. Twice as rich then. Friend said, call it done. How sad, I said. So that's your wildest dream, and then 20 pence instead of 10. Double up me bet again. In life we start the same as when we're done. If you lose, you're just where you've begun. If you've won, don't quit while you're ahead. Just press your blessed luck instead.
Don't try to think what move might be the best. Use the heart that beats within your breast. Never rest. Don't quit while you're ahead.
Sing out, there's more in store for me.
I see my dream ship finally coming in like a steamship, anchoring into wind.
Lift your chin. Remember what I said. Don't quit while you're ahead. Let go.
I know there must be love that's yet to be. Only just 3 weeks away from me, hopefully.
Don't quit while you're ahead. Don't worry how you tread. Who cares?
And there's the chance. One pipe dream that is mine, a romance quite right up on the vine.
Don't resign, no victor ever fled.
Don't quit while you're ahead. To stay. Ta-re, ta-ra. Boom! Bang and bash and ooh, hey, hurrah. Boom! Clay, clash and ooh, la-dee-da. Don't quit while you're ahead. Don't say I'm off to bed. Farewell.
Oh, well, I know. Don't let the moment go to waste. Not with victory close enough to taste. Either go with all due haste.
For God don't say, so raise the stake. You struck a lucky vein, never break through any lucky chain, the refrain. Don't quit while you're ahead, as easily done and said. You'll see ta-ra-ta-ree. Ooh, play it back.
Maestro, s'il vous plaît.
And now, at last, we see the slightest glimmering of light, bright, shimmering in the dim dawn of night. So long have we been blind, but finally we unwind the plot. The truth is this: we stand and
Director, this wasn't in the script, Bill. Wasn't in the script, Bill.
It was at this point where Mr. Charles Dickens laid down his pen forever. So that is all we shall ever know for certain about the mystery of Edwin Drood. But at least within the confines of this humble theater, we shall solve, resolve, and conclude the mystery of Edwin Drood. One minor mystery we can resolve immediately, though it has little to do with the plot at hand. You see, many literary experts agree that our inquiring detective, Dick Datchery, is actually someone we've already met, a character from Act 1 who is roaming Cloisterham to further investigate the disappearance of Drood. And as many of you have been able to tell, the role of Dick Datchery has been taken thus far this evening by that master and mistress of male impersonation, Miss Alice Nutting. But that does not mean that Edwin Drood and Dick Datchery are one in the same person. Oh, no, far from it. The only real reason for her betrayal is, well, she was contracted to appear in 2 acts of our play, and our theater believes in an honest week's work for an honest day's pay, if you catch my drift. Our questions shall be answered primarily by you this evening, but in a daring and perhaps dangerously democratic move. The Music Hall Royale has decided to grant our company the right to vote upon one key issue each night. And so, my fellow acolytes of the thespionic persuasion, your question shall be, Miss Throttle?
Excuse me. Is Edwin Drood dead or alive? Miss Alice Nutting, who has vested much interest in the outcome, will please kindly turn her back to the cast. Ladies, gentlemen, as your whim takes you this evening, for all those who believe that Edwin Drood is dead, please raise your hands. Thank you. And for all those who believe that Edwin Drood is alive, please kindly do the same now.
Why?
For what? Thank you. It's all yours, Bill.
I'm sorry, Miss Danting, but it does appear that you have, snuffed it by a massive majority, I fear. And our next key question is, Miss Throttle?
It is Dick Datchery.
Well, we can safely eliminate Edwin Drood from that consideration since our company has eliminated him for the remainder of the evening.
Eliminated? Ha and bloody ha ha! Ha ha! You absolute envious little shits! It is obvious to everyone here that Drood, that I am Datchery, and it's even more transparent that this petty, jealous cast basically resents the attention that I've received in the local press. Goodbye, all!
Oh no, are you leaving? Oh no. There are actually many candidates for the role of our detective, Dick Datchery. For example, Helena Landless, about her never revealed in Act 1.
In desperation, Helena tried on more than one occasion to flee her stepfather's cruel and misery hand, even disguising herself as a boy.
A hit, a palpable hit, but is it meaningful thrust or misdirection? Wouldn't Helena be fearful of pursuing John Jasper under the given circumstances?
Not under any circumstances.
But the candidates hardly end there. What say you of Bassard?
I love the theatrical world, but there are many stages beyond the proscenium. I long to play a larger part.
Who more likely to don such melodramatic garb and seek the spotlight? Why else does he appear in our play at all?
I've been secret and revengeful.
Who more likely to investigate the disappearance of Drood than he who is most suspected of foul play? Or did someone else wish to clear Neville's name?
Been entrusted to my care.
The Reverend Chris Sparkle, whose passions and energy lay hidden behind his clerical garb. Perhaps he's adopted yet another uniform, that of Datchery. Then there's the puzzling and intriguing possibility of Rosa Bud. Perhaps we have underestimated the resourcefulness of this woman-child. Perhaps she took it on her own to investigate the disappearance of her dear departed Edwin. Looks can be deceiving. But one thing for certain, Dick Datchery cannot be myself, John Jasper, the Princess Puffer, Durdles, or Deputy. For in our play and in Mr. Dickens' novel, they are observed to be in their company. Would the remaining candidates for Dick Datchery please step forward? And may I suggest we vote the way we do in amateur theatrical contests. As someone raises a handkerchief, pray applaud for your favorite in the role. And please, we have more pressing things to vote upon. So don't merely vote for your favorite right now. I'm serious. Miss Dawdle, where? Miss Dawdle?
Bill, are you blind, dear?
Partially.
Yeah, of course. The tempestuous Helena Landless. All the way from Prussia, Mr. Neville Landless. The lovely Miss Rosa Bud. And of course, the underrated Mr. Bazzard.
Relax. I get it, you're excited. Whoa.
We have one more candidate, love, just one more. Okay. And of course, the ecstatic and ecclesiastic, the Reverend Chris Sparkle.
Very well. Bazzard is our Datchery for the evening. And may I suggest that you make a quick change of costume, although I can see many members of the audience more than willing to assist you in the process. Go, go, go. All right, now we're going to vote upon our murderer. Therefore, all right, let's do it. I'm gonna get a disease. Wow. Really? On National Women's History Month? That's crazy. All right, no, relax, relax, relax. Such appalling behavior is entirely due to upbringing. Her parents were in the iron and steel business. Her mother irons and her father steels. Oh! You didn't like that one. You didn't. You can admit it. It's fine. Okay, I have a better one. Okay. She was previously known as the orthopedic soprano. She sang in all the joints. Ooh. That was worse. All right, okay. Last one. She sang in a pub called the Rooster and Rest. Not much comfort, but plenty of... Starts with a C. All right, now, we're going to vote upon our murderer. And may I present to you the most obvious candidate for the role of murder, Mr. Clive Paget as John Jasper. No! That's weird. You have to know this. At the Music Hall Royale, we boo and we hiss the villain. We're going to... No, it's too late! You're not that interesting. Now, we're going to do it again until we get it right, okay? Let's do it again. I present to you the most obvious candidate for the role of murderer, Mr. Clive Paget as John Jasper. let's do be serious. Okay. May I ask you a question? Is this the face of a murderer? Yes. Well, perhaps not. Okay, yes, it's clear. Is that all there is to the story? That he did, in a furious rage, kill his nephew to win the love of the fair Miss Rosabud? Well, then where is the mystery? Where indeed? Now, for the most obvious candidate or a more perplexing solution, may the remainder of the candidates for the role of murderer please step forward. All right. As these cards are being handed out, please vote for your favorite in the role of murderer. Not yet. You're getting excited. Relax.
Me?
Apologies, wait. Statements, my darling.
Oh,
statements.
statements,
Yes,
right,
yes.
statements, of
Statements
course.
first, please.
Rosabud. But why on earth would I murder my own true lad?
Helena Landless, did I, in trying to save my brother, bring harm to the young Edwin Drood?
Doodles, I'd rather have a bottle in front of me than give Drood a frontal lobotomy.
Neverlandless, I cannot recall what transpired Edwin and I had reached the river, but I know he was an obvious little twit, and he deserved what he got.
Princess Puffer. Who am I? And what am I?
To good Reverend Chris Sparkle. Could I have confused my mission here on Earth?
Thank you. John Jasper, I have stood in this cold shade of suspicion since our story began.
There are your candidates for the role of murderer. Miss Throttle.
Now it is my time to speak. Excuse me for my haste. You will note that on the papers that you will receive from the cast and all around you, that there's a square with a, I believe it's called a QR code. Is that correct, ladies and gents? A QR code? Okay, thank you. Scan the code with your devices and pick the number that corresponds with the killer of your choice.
In the front row, who are you feeling? Number 6, number 7, 5. You can tell me it's all right. 4. Oh, all right. Young lady in the second row, who are you thinking? You can tell me, darling, it's all right. You're thinking 2, 3, 4. You don't know, okay. As your votes are being counted, I'm now going to offer a sip of port for your chosen fiend, that he or she will know your verdict. And may I strenuously request that you all close your eyes for the sake of closing your eyes. Close them now. Close.
Well, close your eyes and you heard the man. Or else you're gonna be caught on candid camera back there. Close your eyes.
I'm offering the sip of port. Ooh, a murderer is drinking it. That's so crazy. All right. Whew. You see, you cannot trust anyone here tonight. And as our cast departs backstage, whereas right now your votes are being counted, let us finish our final chapter of the mystery of Edwin Drood. Mr. Charles Dickens' first novel was entitled The Dawn. Funny enough, the last chapter of his final book was titled The Dawn Again. So how fitting that we end our final chapter amid the cold gray tendrils of a dim English dawn.
Oh, it's bloody freezing again. Missy, can you spare 3 and 6 for a Christian soul in distress?
I'm afraid I've only got 3 and 6 to get me to London.
Running away from something?
Yes, at long last.
Rosa.
How on earth could you know my name?
Know you? I've only known you since the day you were born. Only bathed you and fed you. Don't look at me, Rosa. I don't want you to see me this way. But if you could remember your nanny some 12 years ago, if you can look at me now, my darling girl, and remember your nanny instead.
I was 6, and then you weren't there anymore.
Oh, God love you, you do remember. You never really knew your mother, did you? I was the closest thing to that for you.
But why did you leave me?
It's a sad story, Rosa, but a common one, I fear. I was once your nan, then I met a man. Tall and all with golden hair, he's where my end began. Let him have his way with me, he knew his way so well. Led me down the garden path to hell. Marriage in the end, what I got instead was a bed in Camden Town. And then to me he said, should I send around a friend, be nice to him to swell. Lead him down your garden path to hell. Make your bed of roses and sleep in it. Cuddle deep in it and pray you never wake. Soon the deadly poppies come cropping up, fairly popping from the seeds of one mistake. On me back all day, earning Satan's pay. Took to drink so not to think of who'd come next to play. Gave my gent my every cent, and he gave me farewell, leaving me to weed the path to hell. Life's a maze of hedges that prickle you. As they tickle you, they'll tell you all about. Strolling through the mazes, amusing too, but confusing when you find there's no way out. Lost my looks by then, couldn't draw the men. So I learned to trade on my keep with drugs, and then found myself a wicked shelf where opium I sell. Here's a pipe for you, sir. Price is 5 and 2, sir. Can't you see the garden? It's such a lovely garden. I'll take you there. I know the path so well.
much on my own. I'm deeply ashamed you went through life alone. And yet despite my dreadful fall from grace, I never once forgot your name or face. One icy evening, a client of mine began to rave and crave some laudanum wine. And as he drank his cup of Satan's blood, he made the grave mistake of calling Rosebud. Now it's one thing for them like me to mix and mingle with the likes of he. We are both made from God's most lowly clay and mud. But how comes this man to cry out Rosebud? Well, I can't see too clear, but I followed him here, finding out who was who. I've come back a time or two, then last night checking me, was this Mr. Datchery? So I followed his tracks to his lodges in the back. Though I hate to confess, well, I watched this man undress, and I saw sudden-wise him without his bold disguise. And the job took theatrics and no fear of hazard. Dick Datchery is Bazzard.
Yes, it is I gladly reveal my joy in telling all I cannot conceal. Author am I, at least of this page. Joyfully now I take center stage. My motive in taking this part was to hone even further my art. My theatrical bent and a costume that's let me strive for what's dear to my heart. The chance for some public acclaim, just a shred of a second of fame. As a playwright's a plot to unravel should not pose a problem much harder to tame. This was my greatest audition, 2 decent roles at one time. Finally some recognition, staging the scene of the crime. Going out on a limerick, out on a limerick, out on a limerick. I found the theatrical kit. In as Datchery, I did my bit. So to clear Neville's name, I confess to my shame. 'Twas for vanity too, I admit. I followed John Jasper high-low, found the dance he descends to below. And when Puffer came here, 'twas immediately clear my suspicions were quite apropos. So I crept in the lodgings of Jasper, dressed in this wig, what a sight! There I found Rosebud's class, her mother she gave to that night. Jasper took it from that after hurling him dead to the weary red, I suppose. Tell him that Datchery knows, and the proof is quite clear. Let us bring Jasper here to be tried and then tied up and strung. And from this limerick, let him be hung.
Lie, I wish Ned to die. Twice dead am I. A man gets put in twain, yet to all eyes remain a soul whose gentle can conceal the venom in his brain, and one who draws upon the poison madness opium smoke supplies. So why this great surprise? There are 2 men in me, and cunning bright is he, who hides himself and resides himself where I've no eyes to see. But now I think he's out to break into the door. I'm in, he's out, I'm out, he's free, I'm free, I'm made once more. How many times I've killed that Drood upon my flights. My flights that killed the smug presumption of his rights. His right as heir, his rights to share my terms as bed. It took no smoke for me to picture Edwin dead. That night I filled myself a flask of laudanum, and then to toast my Ned and Neville I drank some. That's when my greater flight of fancy did take place. I watched my hands outstretched towards Edwin's pale white face, and in the moonfall I saw my fingers clutching his neck so tightly, touching my sleeve, he felt so lightly. Moonfall then fell on me. But God, the deed was much too easily done. As much as over once it had begun, such tragedy to finally make the kill, and not to awake to taste the thrill. Now I've confessed. Now we both can rest.
No, I can't let this happen. You did place the coat by the river to place blame on Neverlandless. You are a bad man, Mr. Jasper, when the evil one is inside you, but you're not a murderer. You did not kill Edwin Drood.
I'm sorry, I think I'm confused. Are you saying that he is not the murderer?
Exactly, sir. It was a wild night that Christmas Eve, and as you know, I took shelter by Mr. Jasper's door, and someone amongst us throttled Edwin Drood, and in a convenient flash of lightning, I saw who it was. That was a long speech, Bill. Mind if I have a nip of port? Right, sorry. I saw Mr. Jasper stagger out of his door underneath the influence of a very potent medicine. And then he suddenly collapsed, got up, picked up Edwin Drood, took him to the cathedral, then to the crypt to dispose of the body. And it was Mr. Sapsey's tomb.
What?
I told you there's a lot of room in there, Bill.
But you must tell us, Turtles, who did it?
It was Rosebud!
Were you so blind you could not see? I killed him, yes! And it was wonderful to do, I do confess. To have it done, to see him in, to see it through. You surely know by now I meant to murder you! But you, I was so blind as not to know your mind, of what intent to compliment you feel, but only blind to feel myself enrobed and probed with every movement of your eyes. Oh, but realize a child can go quite mad and not no good from bad, and calmly plan to kill a man, but feel but only glad to bid herself, of murderous goodbye. Not Edwin, who I sought, but you, I meant for you to die. But the night was far from bright, thick with wet and thunder. Thatching fell dispatch from hell, is it yet a wonder? Could not see the arms of me stretched out with palm in hand. Saw your coat and tie Ned's throat, just like a deadly wedding band. So long a time they've thought that I'm dressed in all quite naive, but I perceive as pain my brain more torture than they might conceive. With these late additions I have now revealed murderous admissions hither to conceal. Damn you, I say, you let him drive me mad! Mad, no good can come to mad. I meant to murder you if he wasn't wearing that stupid, ludicrous coat!
as your murderer for tonight. But don't we all deserve a happy ending? Don't we all have need in our lives for love, romance, or at this hour, anything like that? Now, you will vote upon one final thing. Who you believe in our company would be the perfect match. On the female side, we are left with the tempestuous Helena Landless and the serviceable Princess Puffer. Miss Throttle?
Neville's beautiful twin sister, Miss Helena Landless. Yet. Oh, and of course, the splendidly well-seasoned Miss Princess Puffer.
Well, I'm glad we're not going with incest tonight.
Yes.
Miss Princess Puffer it is. And on the male side, we are left with quite a few fellows. Deputy, Bassett, Neville Landless, Chris Sparkle, John Jasper, and Turtles.
Of course. That very young child deputy.
That is awful. Oh, my God.
The still very underrated Mr. Bassett, yeah! And of course, Helena's lovely twin brother, Mr. Neville Landless. We all do. That evil
Whoa.
Mr. John Jasper. All right now, of course, we have the Reverend Chris Sparkle. And last, but certainly not least, that specimen we all love, Turtles.
As it is! All right. That is... Whoa. That is your decision, and you are stuck with it. Dr. Sumner, a small reprise, if you will. I believe we're going to have a love song.
I hear you're someone playwright. Well, I've lived a life wicked enough to write a score of shameless dramas. What do you say? Dip your pen in the ink of my existence, so to speak.
With a life like yours as a source of my inspiration, I think my quill could rise to new heights.
Once we were perfect strangers, how strangely met our way.
I find I now adore you. Our best has yet to be.
It seems I've longed to hold you, fate ruled it so.
You love me so, they've told you.
Let's not resist this ending.
Once we have kissed, pretending takes no skill. This strangeness makes me great. Once we were perfect strangers, yet now I love you perfectly.
Leave it for the dressing. Leave it. Whoa. That was a lot. But what about Edwin Drood? What would she say to us? Well, what would they have? What kind of wisdom would they have from beyond the grave? What would they do? What would they say? No, 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 no!
I'm alive! Hello all! How are you doing tonight? I am Lazarus, risen from the grave. Quite alive you'll find me. This tomb behind me is where I faced my closest shave. When I struck my head against the street, I was stunned, not stricken. Our plot doth thicken, for Jasper flew me off my feet. To the crypt, I awoke in darkness beyond belief, and while all above me showed their grief, I was fighting for my very breath, only moments from death. You have no idea the sudden strength that you feel within you, the steel and the sinew. When fate stands smiling at arm's length, I escaped, from Cloisterham I fled, and I did not return here till I could learn here just who in hell would wish me dead. But more than that, what solution fits the crime? What I've learned is that life is bits of time, and you fight for every tiny speck. When you're held by the neck, I have read the writing on the wall, and the greatest mystery is not the history of Jasper, Drood, and one and all. I have met my maker and returned. What advice I'm giving to all those living is just to learn what I have learned. Life is dear. There can be no victory in defeat. If outnumbered, you beat a fast retreat to the nearest shelter and again. When you live, then you win. Scratching the law for every day you're worth. Make them drag you screaming from life. Keep dreaming, you'll live forever here on earth. I have seen the writing on the wall, and it's clearly spelled out to those who've held out that holding on to life is all. Is it clear? If you hear my voice, then you're alive. What a bloody marvel we survive. When you think of every risk we face,